It's early. It's like 7 a.m. or something like that, 7:30. And it's Monday, the 22nd of July. And I just recently did a video where I was showing actually this plant right here. After I'd opened it up and, you know, I was going to tape it up, and I did tape it up, as you can see. But one thing I noticed in the video is that I guess this camera can see better than I can, because there was an actual squash vine borer in there that I didn't see before I taped it up, and I think he's back in there. So what I'm going to do is open this back up again and see if there's a squash vine borer still in there, and then I'll tape it back up again if there is. If you look closely, you can see the tiny squash vine borer. This is in the other video that I saw it in, where I missed it the first time before I taped it up. So all I did was take the tape off there, and you can see that there's more damage in there than there was when I taped it up. So there's a squash vine borer in there. I'm almost positive of it, and I'm gonna dig them out. I gotta get some way to show you that. I want to show this on video. As you can see, there's a lot of like dark and soft tissue there. So I'm gonna kind of pull some of that out of there, and I'm thinking that there's gonna be a white worm with a black head right in the middle of it. So let's see what we find. Yeah, this is all softened up again. Yeah, there he is right there. There's one. Well, no. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, there's a lot of worm poop in there for sure. There he is. Here's the head. Well, maybe not. Probably getting my head in the way of the filming. Yeah, the stalk of this plant is destroyed. Look at that. That whole part of it there is severed. So, you know, maybe this worm that was in there already grew up. Actually, look, if you look right there, you can see there's more worm poop right there. This plant's a goner. I mean, there's no saving this. There's so much damage here. That's probably where it originally went into the plant. Actually, there's another egg right there. You might be able to see if I don't have my head in the way. I believe that's an egg, not sure, but I'm gonna go in there and get them. There's no saving this plant. Sorry about the poor camera work here. Left in there. Yeah, it's already. Yeah, there he is right there. Okay. There's the squash vine borer worm that was in there. That's probably that little one that I missed that you can see in my other video. I missed him. I didn't see him. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be. And he continued, and in there he was protected by my tape, and he continued on to destroy the rest of the plant. So yeah, this plant's obviously destroyed. And as I'm pruning out this Hubbard squash that the squash vine borer killed, I found a couple of eggs, so I just wanted to point those out. You know, that's when you see a squash vine borer eggs, that's what they look like. Little tiny brown eggs, and you know, you can just scrape them off the plant, and you know, if they're not on the plant, I'm pretty sure they can't do anything. But you know, there's another one right there, and you know, these moths will come in and they plant them all over the place. So in this bed right here, I planted 3 butternut squash, you know, the traditional climbing butternut squash. This is the 2 of them over there, and the one right there. And just for the first time, I tried the butter bush, and so far I've lost one of those, And I also planted a blue Hubbard squash over there that I just, in this video, you'll see I just pulled that out of there. And I found another squash vine borer in it when I was pulling it out, so I killed that one so it won't proliferate in my compost pile. And then there was a Burgess buttercup squash that you can see the stem of it right there, and the squash vine borers killed that one. They decimated the stem on that one. So out of, let's see, I've lost 3 squash out of this bed so far, and this one here is taped up, got a beautiful male flower on it. And you know, there might be a there might be one in there too, I don't know. Little pill bug trying to get in there, I don't know. That stem was opened up pretty far, I showed in another video, so who knows. We'll see whether that plant does anything. I really don't have a plan to put anything else in here right now. It's a pretty plant, but it loses its I forget the word that they call that, when, you know, its stiffness, I guess, is a plant when it gets hot in the daytime, which it's hot here. We're in Central Texas.
The word I was looking for is
daytime
turgor.
Temperatures are up to 95 degrees here in July and August and September, most of September. So anyway, yeah, it's a kind of a sad story. I mean, I'm getting some squash, but some that I wanted to get, like the blue Hubbard squash, which is a, you know, it looks nice in the photos in the seed magazines, but so far I haven't seen what one of them looks like. I have that one plant left that's down there that's a huge plant. You get a picture of it, you know, from back away from it, you can see it's crawling all over the place in that bed, and I'm stringing it up, but there's no squash on it yet, but I've picked a lot of eggs off of it. And the Burgess buttercup, there's a couple of them in this bed, and also along with some cucumbers. And been seeing lots of bees in there. There's lots of flowers in there, so yeah, I can see bees right now that are underneath in there. So the word got out to the bee committee. And then there's a Burgess buttercup down here. This is from that bed, but it kind of crawled over this direction. What happened to it? There it is. Right there, that's starting to grow. So hopefully, you know, these plants will stay alive long enough. That's crawled all the way over from over there down to here into my sweet potato beds. And yeah, there's lots of bees around here. And it was starting to crawl up that pole. So hopefully, you know, we'll get some of those, and that's the first time I've grown those too, and we'll see what they look like. So yeah, I kind of sad on the squash, but you know, one thing about gardening is that you got to remember that you're going to have failures, and when you have a failure, try to learn from it and then either grow something else. Most of the things you learn is grow something that grows good in your area, because this area here, it's tough to grow stuff, and you have to water a lot because it's hot and dry, and some years are good and some years aren't so good. So I've had a lot of failures, so I'm learning a lot. My little buddy right there. And this is one thing I didn't mention in the other video, is that you can keep squash vine borers from destroying your plants by keeping them off your plants, at least until you start seeing flowers. And you can actually manually pollinate them, which I've had limited luck with that. It doesn't work as well as I thought it would, but these are kind of my ace in the hole plants here. These are Seminole pumpkins. I bought these seeds from David the Good, and these aren't pure Seminoles, because I know you had other squash growing out there, but you know, there's some kind of squash that grew in South Alabama, so they're adapted to hot weather climate, and so I'm hoping they do well here. I've got 5 plants in this little bed here, because I got 100% germination off the seeds I bought from him on Etsy, or actually from his daughter. So these are kind of my ace in the hole. Hopefully, if all else fails, these Seminole / something else, maybe, pumpkins will produce a lot of food for our pantry.